Hey everyone, I think let's go ahead and get started with this fireside chat. What do you think, Nick?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we made it to the end of this year's summit. Super cool. Um, Fireside chat time, just opportunity for us to just kind of talk amongst each other about what's been going on and what we're thinking. Um, so a little agenda here. First, we're just, I guess, the dialogue about our current products together, just our thoughts on things. Then we're gonna segue into a period of just discussing our lessons learned this year, because every year we're always learning something, always making something better, refining some process of ours. Then we'll spend a little bit of time on our ideas for the future. We've always got them. They're sometimes they're changing, and some of them remain persistent with us. Whether we get to them or not, it's just part of our kind of our collaborative vision as a group. Spend a little bit of time just talking about our ethos again, just kind of reaffirming for everyone and just how we continue to develop that our way of doing things and how we think about stuff. Then we're going to open it up to everybody with an open discussion with our attendees or any questions that anybody has in the Q&A. And then at the end, our AirPod giveaway. I think with that, let's get
Dive
started.
in.
All right. So yeah, dialogue about our current products, and we've got a couple to talk about this year. But let's start off with Sherlock, our flagship. So
Yeah.
yeah, busy year for Sherlock.
Yep. It has been. At least it's been picking up at the toward the end of the year, really. I don't. People probably don't really know this, but previously I was the only developer of Sherlock
Hmm.
until the end of this year, which is partially to blame for a little bit less of updates than we've liked in the past. But now Amit is now starting to help us out on the Sherlock product as well. So now Amit and I are both working on it. I'm excited about that because it's going to allow us to deliver some more features this year and
Hmm.
have a little more horsepower behind the development behind Sherlock. So
Yeah,
uh,
definitely. It's been cool to bring it into the process too, because like one thing we were talking about last year is, well, Sherlock was the first. It was the first thing you created. It was created differently than everything else we've made because of where you were at in your life professionally, how Sherlock was made, and then a couple years go by and we start forming this company and actually having ticket tracking and processes and release schedules and things like this, and we learned a lot of stuff about that, and now Sherlock is very much a part of that process, and
mhm.
and because of Mitt's helping and because it's not just you anymore, we're able to kind of formalize that more, and now we're able to talk about Sherlock every day during our engineering meetings, and and now like when we push out our release notes, Sherlock is included with it. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff too, because it just kind of, it's not like Sherlock fell to the wayside, because I don't want to say that. It's just there's different things in our company that were growing and becoming polished, and now Sherlock is very much a part of that, and that's a really cool thing. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, never was by the wayside. I mean, we were always working on it. It was always
always, yeah,
always something, but it kind of felt ostracized from the
yeah. It
rest
was
of the
like
process a little bit.
it's like you would be working on Sherlock when and then the rest of the company, is working on our platform stuff and other things, and we have all these meetings around it, and then you'd go off and work on Sherlock, and which is that's how it needed to be. And now we've brought that in, and it's also just internally raised a lot more awareness about Sherlock with everybody, including myself, which is good. So,
Yeah.
dang it. Yeah. You, anything more you want to talk about when it comes to Sherlock, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the with all that, I mean, I'm excited about, being able to deliver some more features this year and stuff like that. But yeah, it's seeing really where we can grow Sherlock and what new things we can do in the BIM coordination space, especially with integrations and things like that. So
The integrations are going to be a really nice addition. The BIM track and Procore stuff.
hmm for sure. Yeah, and if anybody, all of our existing customers, if you've got ideas or hate doing something in BIM coordination in the BIM coordination space, we're always willing to listen to those things and uh, add stuff to our roadmap if it makes sense. So please do reach out.
Cool. I'll let's move into daily. Yeah. Always busy with daily. That's all I gotta say. Always busy with daily. Always tweaking stuff. Always playing with things. Always making things better. This year, we spent a lot of time in the beginning of the year once we made the public beta available. Once we made the beta of daily available to the public, we spent a good couple of months just like really refining and hardening the code in certain ways and really making things robust and performant. We definitely, and of course, addressing anything critical bug-wise that came in. And then we were able to switch gears and start adding new features, not just features that, were coming in from people's feedback, because certainly that too. Some of which were ideas that we had even a year or so ago that we just weren't able to give the priority to because of so many other more pressing things that were necessary to just get daily usable for people. And we've had an opportunity to work on things like that. That's been exciting.
Yeah,
And
there's been a lot of improvement that we've been able to make over the past year for daily. Last year it was get it ready for the bare minimum, and this year we've been able to add some really cool features and stuff to it.
Yeah, the hub concept also, really came from a lot of that work too at the end of last year. That's something that I don't know if we had. I don't think we had. I don't think the hub concept existed at Summit time this time last year. I think that's something we introduced in the final quarter of last year. A really cool way of organizing your greater parent organization over your projects, whether that be your company or however you want to organize that. The hub concept came in a little later, and I think that's been a real improvement too. That's certainly it's in line with other construction platforms too, and how they're organizing projects. So I think that maybe translated easier for customers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we, when we released this for release daily as a public beta, it really kind of, honed our need for documentation and kind of gave birth to why we started doing FlyPaper Academies too, which was really cool, to really address those kind of that need for kind of just individual small little feature bites of videos that we make, and like really explaining like, okay, why would you tag your work logs? All right, this is what you do. If you tag your work logs, then you get all these cool reporting features and things like that with it. So it was nice to kind of go through all that. I mean, there was like, we just have had so many people start using daily that we've really learned a lot over the past year. Just on the documentation side, on the bug fix side, on the feature side, what people want, and really listening to customers and things like that. So
the tunable options in the project admin, for instance, the types of, those little things that a project admin just wants to be able to be like, hey, I want to make it so that certain types of roles in my project can do certain things. I mean, I don't, off the top of my head, I'm not recalling all of them, but we've added just a few to daily at least. And we've added them, and we'll maybe talk about that a little bit in PlanScan too, because PlanScan also helped push that need. But just as a project admin in the platform daily, as well, there's just so many cool things that now an admin can tune and say that this type of user of this role can do this type of thing. A lot of that stuff's been added too.
Yeah, for sure. I know I'm for one is excited about it coming out of the public beta and becoming like actually being production ready is what I guess we would consider it at that point. I mean, it's been used, it is used on projects. It's continuously used on projects as we talked about in the keynote. I mean, it's used on more than 200 projects at this time. But now we feel like it's solid. It's ready for real production use, and we're excited. I'm excited about that kind of coming out of this, getting done with this public beta period.
We have anything else we want to talk about on daily before we move into PlanScan?
No, not really. I mean, with coming out of that public beta thing, beta period, we have decided on what our pricing structure is going to be. I know we've talked about it a few times in the other sessions, but we know it's going to be $1 per price or $1 per project per month type of thing, and it's going to be competitively priced with anything else that's out there. But and like I said earlier, we like that kind of structure because it doesn't disincentivize use, and it allows you to say, all right, well, I pay this much for a project per month, and we can have as many people as we want on our job site inside of this project and collaborating and working in there as we want. So never have to think about user accounts and things like that. So
yeah, it really allows
inviting.
us. Yeah, it really allows us the freedom to explore features around collaboration. Ideas like @ mentions and being able to include a particular person in the text that you're typing and have it linked to them somehow, and just a lot of the social interactions that you get from a lot of just social platforms that exist out there, or just collaborative platforms outside of construction, regardless of the space. There's just a lot of things that we'll be able to tinker with, explore, hear people's feedback about, be like, yeah, we can do that. Because like you were saying, and that's absolutely true, if we went with a price per user model, that completely disincentivizes having a whole bunch of people collaborate on a project, because it just costs so much money. That'll disincentivize smaller companies. They will be less eager, and some of the more fiscally minded larger companies also will do it. So I definitely agree that the dollar per project model is certainly the way to go for us to continue to expand on the collaborative nature of the platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. You ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on to PlanScan.
All right. So PlanScan, yeah. We had a busier year. We had a busy year last year. We didn't talk about it at all during Summit, but we were already more than a few months in to working on PlanScan. I think we had actually started principal development probably about a month prior or so. But we were really hush hush about it.
Yeah, we were definitely in the planning period of PlanScan for sure.
Yeah, and then we were basically, kind of like at an alpha testing into internal projects or internal people. I say at Barton Malow around the Autodesk timeframe last year. I think they were starting to really beat it up, try it out, vet it. We were addressing things there, but by January timeframe, projects started using it, and it's been a lot of work. I mean, it was certainly a new subject for us, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think we've done a pretty good job with it. And then, the thing was nice about, all the development work on PlanScan is it really, some of the innovation that happened within PlanScan, dealing with large numbers of records and thousands of activities and things like that. And all that kind of stuff really helped us kind of move some of that, take those lessons learned that we learned with PlanScan and apply them to daily as well, and kind of bring those enhancements into daily, which was really cool to see.
The filtering, the grouping, and the sorting stuff just on the user interface side, because of the sheer amount of activities that were being inputted from P6 or even manually. Yeah, I mean, that was much larger than even some of our larger projects with the amount of work logs that were being made. So we didn't really see that need to organize things better, because even some of the bigger projects using adding work logs didn't have huge lists. And with the activities in PlanScan and constraints as well, milestones not so much, but still, huge lists. And so it was really important to have really cool ways to grid view, card view, or list view, as we're list view and grid view, and the ability to easily sort and filter through things. That was, and then with that, like you were saying, performance improvements, even to be able to do that regardless of the cool UI stuff that we added, we needed to, just make our way of even displaying that type of information faster. So that it didn't bog down people's computers. And we learned a lot in PlanScan in the use cases that we needed to satisfy to make the experience good for people using it, that we took into the rest of the platform.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you mentioned the grid view and list view. I don't think we've really mentioned it much in any of the other sessions, but pretty much everywhere where you're seeing like lists of things, so lists of activities, lists of work logs, lists of constraints, those types of things, we now have there's always two views for all of those things, and that actually came from PlanScan. There's a grid view, which is kind of that card-based view that you see, and then you can switch it into a list view, which kind of looks like Excel almost for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a really compact view of lots of records, and you can click on them, open it up and actually do the editing there. But if you just need to be able to like absorb the information from a lot of different records at a time, that list view is actually a really, really useful tool.
Yeah. Or, in PlanScan too, just like grouping by company.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Grouping by contractor, I guess, is a term we could use right now for sake of giving some context to it. Super powerful, but also lent itself into daily too. So.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm excited for the public beta coming up, in Q1 and of 2022. I think it'll be cool to get some outside perspective from other companies and things like that. And it's going to be, we're going to the LCI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the perfect conference to, talk to people that are already doing pool planning and maybe are using those existing softwares that we feel like we've created an offering that improves upon those. So that'll be a cool conference for us to go to. And it's our first in-person conference that we'll be doing since COVID-19 happened. So I'm excited to get back to the in-person conferences. They're always so much better and so much more interaction happens.
So much better.
The virtual ones. So
don't even get me started.
Yeah. Especially from our side, the exhibitor side, it's really tough to do a virtual conference because you have no ability for getting people to come to your virtual booth. So it'll be nice to get back to a physical in-person conference.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
Ready to move on to the next agenda item? Cool. So yeah, our lessons learned. Lessons learned. Always learning.
Yeah.
That's for sure. In continuation of what you were just talking about, we learned that being an exhibitor at virtual conferences really just isn't worth it. Tough. It's a real struggle. I don't know what words I want to use right now, but
yeah, definitely. It's tough. I mean, it's like on one hand, you want to still attend those conferences that all went virtual and stuff just to, keep brand awareness there. But if nobody shows up at your virtual booth, it's kind of useless. So, they suck. So we're.
I don't remember which one it was, but we had like one guy attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autodesk University says that Autodesk says that their Autodesk University this year will be a lot better of a platform. So we'll see.
I'm sure it will be. I mean, that was the first time for a lot of major companies. There were virtual conference softwares that I don't know if there was any. I mean, it's not really my expertise, but the idea of a virtual conference has existed for a while. So there were certainly some tools out there that were trying to address it. But I mean, nothing like a pandemic on that scale that it was to really like push companies to be like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't even think this way. We don't even think like this. Like, how do we do that? So, and Autodesk, I'm sure they have a really nice sized team that's their event planning group, and they're definitely learning from each event, whether it was physical or virtual. So I would fully expect that this year will be better. So fingers crossed, hopes are high. Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah, and we staying on the virtual side of things, you had your hands full with virtual school with your kids. So
Oh,
that was definitely some lessons learned on how do we work around all of that stuff.
I just want to say that you guys, everybody in our small team is very patient and very cool. I mean, what a year for just adapting in general. You know, I'll just say this. You know, I've had kids now for a while. They're 9 and 10, and when they were younger, I don't know. I don't know what it was like when you used to maybe pull a meeting from home and your kids are around. You always felt like, oh, hey, kids, go away from here. Like it's not. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It wasn't as like basically last year, for instance, I got kids literally in the next room doing online school. I'm having to like hit pause on meetings to run over and hey, your teacher just texted me telling me that you're not in your Zoom call. I'm in a Zoom call. Can you get in your Zoom call so I can get in my Zoom call? And why do I have to keep coming over here and telling you to get into your Zoom call? Like, but everybody, everybody's super patient. But yeah, just I think the world got used to that type of stuff. Now, I mean, we had even a couple of meetings with some people, reps from different companies, things like that. And we're talking to a VP who's literally pulling a meeting out of his laundry room because it's the only place that he could escape to get any, quiet.
Yeah,
What an interesting year.
it was.
Yeah. What an interesting year.
Yeah.
So yeah, learning how to juggle that, definitely there's some real lessons learned. Learning how to work from home better and make that part of your thing,
For sure.
I felt like, we talked about it a little bit last year, and we've had this conversation between ourselves when the lockdown happened in our state of Michigan. It took a few weeks definitely to kind of like how do we do this now that we're not here. And you and I especially have always been really good communicators, but we were used to working downtown together. We communicated by meeting in the morning, having some coffee, and just doing what we did. And we had to find a new way, And we did that, I think, pretty quick if you think about it, because I know that there's companies that didn't do it at all. It took us about a month, and then we started moving, and we started figuring it out. And then, then my kids start virtual school, and things like this start happening. It's like, okay, well, how do we do that? But there's a lot learned on how to do that. And then just getting used to what it's like to work from home and still make things happen and keep motivated.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Yeah, and in the middle of all that, I had a kid.
So. Yeah, on top of that, you had a baby.
So yeah, so now I've got a 3-month-old.
Yeah, for everyone, like Andrew and I tried really hard to have it so that baby Joe, spoke at this conference, but
she doesn't have much to say right now.
But she's so cute.
She is very
adorable.
cute.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you guys did get a question about like, did you actually like fully end the office lease, or is it while you're working from home?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have no current plans to come back to an office unless something materially changes. So
I'm 4,000 miles away, so it makes it a little rough to meet up with them in
person.
person.
The commute would be just, I don't know, be a lot. It'd be a lot.
We also have someone demanding a full session from Joe next year, which I totally recommend and support.
I second that as well.
Well, she'll be talking then, so maybe we will. Maybe she'll be doing BIM coordination by then.
With one hand tied behind her back.
In the blood.
I was born coordinating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, and then so on top of all that, just real life stuff, which there was really a lot of it, just real life things, we also continue to get better doing what we do. I think we're always improving that, I felt like we're probably still into the design iteration, milestone structure, kind of the way we're doing things. We've been doing this now for a little while. I think this time last year we were doing our daily meetings the way that we're doing them and all that stuff, but we just continue to get better at that. And that's, not just us, but it's our team in India, Amit, Ajit, and Ankur, well, first of all, I just want to take a moment. They're awesome. They're super, super awesome. And we all just work really well together. And they're working from home too. I mean, really, everybody's working from home right now. And so, we keep getting better at, coding together, coordinating our projects together. Not BIM coordination, software coordination, everybody. But, say we keep doing what we're doing. So,
Yep. A lot of life lessons learned this year, I think.
yeah.
And obviously how to work around all of that. So
How to
it was
work
good.
around life. Yeah.
Yep.
I think with that, I'll take us to the next one. Unless you
Sure.
had anything more you wanted to add there.
No.
Ideas for the future.
Yeah. I mean, last year we had a idea for the future of doing something in the pole planning space, and now we've delivered on that. So I mean, that's kind of I don't know, we already knew that we were going to do that, so
I mean,
self-fulfilling prophecy, but that's okay.
Hey, it's fulfilled nonetheless.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as far as, going off of PlanScan, I mean, I talked about it a little bit on the roadmap for daily, but yeah, I mean, our ideas for the future is how can we really integrate that with daily, to make that whole process like a closed loop and make it really efficient for everybody that's on a job site. So it makes total sense for a project to be using PlanScan and also be using daily, and it doesn't feel like they're two disjointed tools. That's really what I'm excited about for the future, at least for that.
Yeah, me too. And making, we have one of our projects that are using PlanScan is also using daily. And that, we'd always thought that there might be something there, but I'm just super excited about finding that seamless way to make that meaningful for everybody. Just like what you were talking about in the PlanScan session. That's gonna be super useful and definitely a differentiator for us. Definitely no one's doing that. And those two stories really do they belong together. Those two stories belong together. The superintendent foreman daily, and project managers and, construction management, planning, really, really do belong together. And I'm excited to see what we come up with there too. Also, you and I have been talking a lot lately about, really for the last year or two, about, I don't know, I think it's maybe in my mind I call it our slow data science, machine learning, AI journey that we're kind of on, which is, a combination of like, what do we do with our data? How we, organize the information, how we can take this information that we have and create meaningful features for our customers, leveraging machine learning, for instance. Yeah, it's not just a popular thing. I mean, yes, lots of people are talking about it. They're talking about ML and they're talking about AI. These are very buzz. These are serious buzzwords that are used. But we are actively, wanting to become real students of the subject to really see what types of things that we can deliver to our customers with our understanding of how these techniques, these strategies, this type of science works.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got all this, we've got all this data about work logs and things like that and what's happening on job sites, especially now when you throw in PlanScan of like what should be happening on a job site. We really think that by analyzing that data, we'll be able to provide better insights into your projects. So as you're using daily, we'd be able to surface problems to you that might be happening on your job site, rather than you having to obviously everybody in a perfect world, everybody would read all the reports and absorb all the data, and the right person would read the report and realize that what that person said is going to be a major problem down the road or something like that. But it just doesn't really happen. Sometimes daily reports just kind of get put in a drawer, even if they are, virtual, and they're in a virtual drawer somewhere that nobody ever reads. We want to be able to maybe apply some of those techniques for machine learning, and try to surface some insights about your project to the people that need to know about it. So there's something there. We just don't know what it is at this point. But hey, that's why it's an idea for the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the meantime, when we can, we're exploring with it. Neil, I know that Amit and Ajit and Ankur are also spending time on machine learning, just kind of on the side. And we're working on our data story, and we're exploring where we can. So it's been a slow journey, but I think it's about to start ramping up in pace a little. So stay tuned for next year, everybody. You never know what we'll be talking about next August.
Cool.
Right on. So yeah, FlyPaper ethos.
Yeah, so we had this slide last year too. I think this is going to be probably pretty similar to our conversation last year. But
I don't really think much has changed.
No, not a lot has
regard.
changed. I mean, our whole motto behind FlyPaper is we want to get you back to building. We don't want you to be working on in our software all day long or doing any of that type of stuff. We want to take the workflows that you need to do in a software and make them shorter, make them faster, make them easier for you to do, so that you can get back to what you really do, which is build buildings and really cool things. So
yeah,
we want to,
and that's it. And just keeping that openness and that transparency between people on a project the same. That's certainly part of that vision as well. Keeping that collaborative mindset at the forefront of how you engage with your project. That's something that we really believe in too. And this really, of course, ties into how we're making the software itself, how we're hearing people's feedback, and how much importance we put on what people think. And really working with that customer to really get it to the right place and make sure that they're in the right place. And just there's a lot of that going on, and it's been that way since the beginning, and we continue to just prove that to ourselves. I feel like we're proving it to our customers. I hope that that's how everybody sees it, because that's what we're trying to do, and we're doing it inside. We do it inside of our own company. This is just how we work with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody's opinion matters, and take everything. Doesn't matter who you are, and we really take that to heart with our customers too, because you guys are the professionals that actually do the job. So we're not the people that know exactly how to do your job. We're just here to try to automate some of it and help you out. So that's what we think. Yeah. And then we also have kind of a internal philosophy, which is, based around making it easier for our developers to work on all of our different aspects of our software and things. So we spent a lot of time crafting our platform so that it's a single code base. There's only one place where our developers work, and they develop on iOS, on Android, on web. All of it is in one place. They can share the code across all of those different platforms. Helps us keep our team size low, and it's easier to train people, and it's easier for people to get up and running and just start producing really good work right away.
Yes, absolutely. I don't have anything more for this one.
Yeah, I think that's about
mostly you summarized it very well. Cool. So that's that was good. That was great. So this is the part where it's kind of just our open discussion with our attendees, but it's just basically an opportunity for anyone to jump in and ask any questions if they want. You can do it through the Q&A. This is basically like our Q&A portion for this session. Again,
last
everybody
chance to snack some of those sick AirPods. So
exactly, that's what I was about to say.
You get in here.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, you can either raise your hand and we can talk to you. We can talk to you like that. You can submit a question, whatever works best. So whatever makes you the most comfortable, we can do that. And
there's a dog that has a question.
Hop into this. Yeah, she's very talkative. She likes to. It's not related to this. It's about food, but.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I do have a question. So what should someone do if they run into an issue with one of our products besides barking?
Yeah. Bark at us by way of Discord, a support request, by, in Sherlock or in Daily and PlanScan too. You have the ability to click on feedback and submit feedback to us. You can also email support@flypaper.com, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty easy for everyone. If you have Andrew's phone number, I suggest you call it like all the time.
Oh yeah, please. Just yeah, blow it up constantly.
Actually, our,
and the
our
feedback
corp-
button, it's in the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say our corporate number does go to Andrew's phone, so definitely hit him up.
Everyone, you know exactly what to do. So that answers that question.
Business hours are from 12:01 to 12:02, so.
Costa Rican time.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Costa Rican time. So if you're trying
So it's
to
like
figure out what that is.
12:01 and a half or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and for the feedback, so in Sherlock or in Daily or the FlyPaper platform, there is a feedback button. It's just like a kind of like a bubble with an exclamation point in it. So you can feel free to submit any questions you have through either of those. Send us an email, whatever works best.
Mhm.
Cool. So another one I have is, so Nick, how much coffee do you drink before 9 a.m.?
Jeez, you definitely submitted this question. For people that don't know, I do enjoy coffee a lot. However, I enjoy it on a different way than drinking a lot of it. I roast all of my own coffee and like to make specialty drinks and stuff like that. Got an espresso machine at home, so
and they're really good, everybody.
You would think,
and also hold on to cut off Nick. He doesn't make enough for me. I just want to say that. I just want to.
Not anymore, at least. No,
yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
But you would think I would drink a lot of coffee, but I do not. I pretty much just drink a shot of espresso every morning, and then maybe a little more on the weekends. But that's about it. So thanks for that question, Andrew.
Enjoy the style and grace.
Yeah. Good job, Andrew.
Just kidding. We gotta get the news out there. Okay, good to hear. So another question we have is, with other platforms that have daily tools, what makes daily useful for my project or for a project?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's really easy to use, and I know that can be a real blanket thing to say, but it really is. I think the learning, the getting started curve, especially even as just a collaborator who's just been like invited to a project and like now it's just time to start getting in there and start adding your work logs. It's pretty straightforward. I think that's certainly a plus.
Yeah, you can get started right away. You get a lot more functionality that's really focused on daily reports. The rollover features, the being able to roll over all of your information from yesterday and things like that, and just keep your daily really easy to write and really easy to quick to write every day, so that you can actually do it every day. Because a lot of people just forget to do it because sometimes those softwares really suck to use. You can do it right on your phone. You can do it. Soon we'll have an Android version of it as well if you work on Android. And we also, we have a connection story. We connect into a lot of different things that a lot of other softwares won't do. So we've got connections to put your daily reports in your various places where you store information, be that BIM 360, be that Box, be that Google Drive. And eventually we're going to be coming out with what we're calling our cloud push connections, which will actually take that data and say you're on a job site that is using Procore, you can still use FlyPaper Daily, fill out your daily, and all that information will get sent right into the whoever is running that job site's Procore account, so that you don't never have to relearn how to do dailies in somebody else's system. So you can internally use FlyPaper Daily and have all that information go into all the other systems that you may be required to use on your various job sites.
Perfect. Another one, I guess if somebody wants a little more in depth about what the integration between Daily and PlanScan could look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We've touched on that. We've certainly touched on that a little bit, but yeah, it's really just about really building on this planning and scheduling story that exists between PlanScan and what happens on the actual job site. On a given day. I think that's a really big thing. I know that's where our initial interest is.
Yeah, definitely. Like when superintendents and foremen are filling out their work logs for the day, giving them the ability to have the list of activities that they should have been working on based on the plan. Obviously, you don't plan everything, so they work on a lot of other things as well. But bring that list right up to the forefront for them to be able to say, all right, did you work on these things? They can check. And if they're done with them, they could hit a button next to the thing that says, you know what, that activity is totally done. And then that kind of can all feed back into the planning period. So we think that that's kind of where we're going to start, and then we'll see where it goes. And I'm sure everybody that uses it will have plenty of ideas for how we could integrate it a little bit more. All right. Anything else?
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. This is your last chance to submit any questions. Anyone else out there, or are we good to go for our drawing?
With a drawing.
Let's do the drawing.
Let's do it. Okay.
Who won the AirPods?
Who won the AirPods? Yes. So I have noted down everyone who has entered a question throughout the event, and then I have randomly selected someone via random number generator. So our ultimate winner happens to be Whitney. So Whitney, I will be reaching out to you, and I will get all your shipping details, and we will pack you off a pair of AirPod Pros just for you.
Awesome. Congratulations.
FlyPaper plastered right on them.
It's all you. Thank you for being our own branding and brand ambassador. So enjoy it. Show them off to all your friends. Tell them where you got them.
Perfect.
They'll be like, "What's FlyPaper?"
Well, that's
awesome.
Exactly. That's where they find it out.
Cool.
So shoot, that brings us to the end.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for attending. That was a ton of information all at one time, but this is kind of our yearly event where we can kind of just talk about FlyPaper, talk about stuff that's happened, give everybody a nice big update. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, I guess with that, see everyone next year.
Cool.
Or tomorrow if you file a support request.
It's true. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you can call Dan's phone as well. Just saying.
Hey. I liked it better when it was your phone.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.